We can start on our backs today. And we'll have the knees out to the side and the soles of the feet together. And you can rest your arms out to the side with the palms up, or you can place your palms on your legs. Just letting that guide the release of the legs down toward the ground. If you can, close your eyes. Soften your belly, your face. Relax the hands and arms. Feel the breath deepening and spreading wide throughout the body. Deepen the breath even more. Feeling it expanding the ribs, opening the lungs. If your hands are on your legs, release them and lift the knees up. Feet will be hip-width apart. You may find that it's easier as we move into this next exercise to have the feet further away from you. See what's going to work best for you. So the hands can be on the chest, but if you want to make it easier, the arms can be out in front. And then on the last part of it, I'll explain what I mean later. You can make it harder by having the arms overhead. But for the first phase of this exercise, either hands on chest or arms forward. So it's going to be like this. We're going to start with an inhale. We're going to exhale and lift up, but not all the way. And then inhale down. Exhale again. Lift up, but not all the way. So you notice how you have to engage your abs to not come all the way up. And then inhale down. And then exhale up. And then here you can bring the arms up if you want to work harder. Or like before, forward to work less hard. And then we're going to slowly lower down. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Inhale once you get down. Exhale. Part of the way up. Inhale down. Exhale part of the way up. Inhale down. Exhale all the way up. And then lower slowly. Breathing as often as you need to. And then just continue like that on your own. Keep going. Last one. Once you're finished, take the arms overhead, straighten the legs, stretch long, breathe deeply, letting your breath stretch out your abdominal muscles. And then walk the legs over to the right, crossing the left ankle over the right ankle. And then take the upper body over to the right, holding on to the left wrist with the right hand, pulling and stretching. Breathing deep and slow. Feel the expansion and the release of each breath. Release the hands and the legs and take it over to the other side. Right ankle over left. Left hand takes the right wrist and pulls. So the stretch may not be that deep, but you can really use the breath to open up the space and deepen the stretch. See if you can breathe inside every rib. Release, come back to center. And roll over onto your right side. And then come up onto your right elbow. Right hand down on the ground. With your left hand on the ground in front of you and your feet stacked, you're going to push down into the ground and lift your hips. Good. And then take the left arm up. Some options for your legs. You can bring your left foot to your inner thigh. And maybe you want to lift that left leg all the way up. Keep the hips lifted. Breathe. And release down with the hips. And reach forward with the left arm. And reach. Reach, reach. And then bend that left leg, take hold of the foot in the hand, and kick it back. Drop your head back, lifting your gaze up. Press your tailbone under. Kick the foot into the hand. Resist with the hand. Open the chest, open the shoulder, open the hip. Open the breath into all of it. And release. And then roll over onto your other side. Coming up onto the elbow, the palm facing down. The elbow is right under the shoulder and the hand is level with the elbow. Okay, feet are stacked. If that's too hard for you, then you just bring one foot to the ground instead, top foot. Pushing down into the right hand, lift your hips up. And then take the arm up. If you did a leg variation on the other side, feel free to do it again on this side. Slow, steady breath. See if you can stay relaxed here, even though the body's working. And release the hips down. Send the right arm toward the feet and reach. And breathe. And then bend that top leg, taking the foot in the hand and kick back. Let the shoulder roll back. Drop the head back if that's okay with your neck. Kick actively, foot into hand, hand into foot. All about the breathing here. Feel it in your chest. And release. Roll over onto the belly and onto both elbows. Hands shoulder width apart, palms facing down. Elbows under shoulders, curl the toes under. Take a breath and exhale, lift. Press back through the heels, tuck the tailbone. Gazing just a little bit in front of you onto the ground, or closing the eyes. And release down. Come onto the hands. And push the hips back. Bring into Maka pose. Arms out in front. Head folded. Sitting on the heels. Push into the hands. And send the hips back. Good. Keep your hands where they are and lift your buttocks off your heels and spread your fingers wide. So we're gonna go between upward dog and downward dog. And if you're wanting a little more of a gentler practice, then you'll stay here on hands and knees and go between cat and cow like this. And also, if upward dog is too challenging for you, then you can just go from downward dog to cobra, which means that your thighs and pelvis are on the ground. So see what's going to work for you. So I'm going to do the downward dog version. If you're joining me, curl your toes under. If you're doing cat and cow, you can begin that now. Exhaling, downward dog. Inhaling, flipping over to the tops of your feet, keeping your thighs off the ground, shoulders back, eyes up, upward dog. Curling the toes to come back into downward dog. Back and forth. Again, if the knees and pelvis need to come down, that's fine as well. If you're wanting to work harder, instead of going straight from downward dog into upward dog, you can go from downward dog to plank, lower slowly down, hover above the ground, and then push into an upward dog from there. Still coordinating with your breath. Just so long as you're moving the spine, that's all that matters here. And then we'll all come into downward dog. So if you've been doing the cat and cow, please join us in downward dog. Make sure the fingers are spread. Let's bend the knees so that we can emphasize the spinal part of the pose. Pressing forward into the hand, sending the sit bones back. And you might find that that wants to create a lot of length in the shoulders, so do what you can to not lengthen the shoulders, pulling the arms into the body, into the back, so that when you push into the hands, the length that you create is in your spine. Knees are still bent. Relax the head down. Maybe the heart can sink toward the thighs. Actively press forward with the hands. Good. Now press the left heel down. Push into the hands, sending the weight back into that left heel. And then to get it even more in the calf, push the inner left ankle toward the outer left ankle. You might find that your arch gets higher as you do that. That's great. Keep sending the hip back and the heel down. Good. Now we're going to drop the hips and bring the right knee to the right elbow. Steady, easy breath. Good. And then just bring it across to the other elbow. And send it back. Bend the knees. You can take a child's pose if you're pooped, but then just join us again as soon as you can. With the knees bent, pressing forward into the hands, send the sit bones back. Straighten the right leg. Pull the arms down into the body. And then again, we're going to move the inner right ankle toward the outer ankle. Keep the chest down and the head down. Press into the hands, down into the heel. And then we'll lower the hips and bring that left knee to the left elbow. Steady your breath. Somehow when we work harder, we tend toward going into a really short, shallow breath when what we most need is the oxygen to fuel that strength. And we should be taking a deep breath. Good. Now switch it over to the other elbow. And send it back. And then let's all bring the knees down. Rest the shoulders by folding the arms alongside the body, coming into child's pose. And really let go of the arms. Just let them flop, like the elbows are sinking toward the floor, the arms rolling over the outsides of the thigh. Feel your body breathing. Feel your body resting. Send the arms overhead. Lift back up into downward dog, curling the toes. Starting with the knees bent again, pressing forward with the hands, sending the sit bones back. And then we'll press both heels down. Pull the arms down the back. Roll the inner elbows forward. Broadening across the upper back. Press into the index fingers and thumbs. Feel the breath, belly, ribs, chest. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up, look forward. Exhale, step it up between the hands. Keeping the back heel off the ground. Lift your body up. And then we're going to bring the arms up overhead and hook the thumbs. Sink as low as you can. And press back through the back heel. And then forward through the tailbone. Yeah. And then pull your hands apart, keeping those thumbs hooked. Nice. Good. Now, clasp the hands behind your back. Notice which thumb is on the outside. Roll the shoulders back and lift your gaze up. Reaching back through the knuckles. Breathing wide into the chest. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands together at the heart. Inhale here. Exhale, twist. Right elbow hooks over the left knee. The left elbow lifts up. Take a deep breath in and then push the left hand down into the right hand, letting the ribs turn up and to the left. Take your gaze to where the wall meets the ceiling. Push back through your back heel. Expand the ribs as you breathe in. Twist as you breathe out. Good. Come back to center without touching down. Then touch down. And step back into downward dog or do your plank, your chaturanga, your upward dog, and your downward dog. Just if you want more effort. Good. Ground through those fingers. Lift through the navel. Breathe steady. Inhale, right leg up, look forward. Exhale, step it up between the hands. Good. Lower the hips. Lift yourself up. And then whichever way your hands want to clasp, do the opposite thumb on the outside. That's it. And then push back through that left heel and bring the tailbone forward. Aim it for the right knee. Keep the hips as low as you can. And then pull the hands apart. Clasp your hands behind your back with the awkward clasp, whichever thumb you don't want to put on the outside, have that one on the outside. Good. And then lift your gaze. Little challenge to the balance here. Lift your hands behind you. Let your shoulder blades collapse in toward the spine. Lift your chest. Lift the breath up into it. See how much you can relax by breathing deep and slow. And release the arms, lift them up, inhale. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Inhale here. Exhale, twist. Lifting the right elbow, looking past your elbow and up. Send your left heel back. Exhale, press your right hand into your left, turning those ribs. Keep your torso relaxed. You're not able to turn if you're using too much effort. The muscles need to be soft, so the legs are working, the hands are working, and the rest is receiving the posture. Come back to center without touching down. Then touch down. Either come straight into downward dog or go through your vinyasa, stepping into plank, lowering into chaturanga, upward dog, and then downward dog. You decide. Just a few more breaths here. Let the head go, let the chest go. Good. Now look forward. We're going to step the left foot up, but not all the way between the hands. It's going to be behind the left hand. Now walk the hands back. Bring the right heel to the ground. Straighten your left leg. Lift your chest. Actually, let's lift the arms. You can bring them back, out to the side, or in front. That's the hardest. Good. Now let the ribs release down toward the thigh. Let the head release down. And then release the hands down. Just touching down for balance. Scoop the lower belly in as you exhale. Space between the navel and the pubic bone lifts. Push into the left foot and send the left sit bone back. Good. Now bring the right hand in, so maybe it'll be in line with the shoulder. Maybe if you can, it will be on top of the foot. Or the hardest is to cross it over to the ground, to the outside of the foot. Now bring your left hand onto your hip and try to straighten your spine. Sending your chest forward and your hip back. Get nice and long and breathe into the length. Now on your next exhale, wrap the right ribs under, aiming them toward the left knee. Let that left shoulder roll back and then lift the arm, left arm. Breathe into your waist. Breathe into your ribs. Good. Release the upward arm down. We'll take one more twist, bringing the hand back so that it's in line with the right shoulder. And it's in front of the foot, so it's roughly at 2 o'clock of the foot. You're going to kick off that back foot and lift it. Again, try to keep the body straight. Turn the ribs and lift the arm. Activate your back leg. Activate your breath. Revolved half moon number 2. Bring the hand down. Step the foot back. Step the left foot back. Take downward dog, or again, you can do your vinyasa, rolling through a sequence, plank, chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog. Okay, now looking forward, we're going to step the right foot up behind the right hand. Back heel comes down. Walk the hands back, straightening your front leg as best as you can. Bring the arms back behind you, straighten the torso, and hover it parallel to the ground. Breathe all the way up to the collarbones. Good. Now when you exhale, lay your belly down on your thigh, let your head relax down. And then let the hands just rest down. Not everybody's hands are going to touch the ground, that's fine. You're just going to have to challenge your balance a little bit more, or maybe you have a block or another prop handy. Please use them if you do. Okay. Now we'll take it into the twist. The left hand moves toward the foot, or it can stay where it is, or on the foot or over the foot. Right hand comes to the hip. Don't hurry it. If you go like this, then you're not going to twist. You're just going to kind of crank your shoulder. You need to twist before you lift your arm. So if you've already lifted your arm and gotten ahead of yourself, bring your hand back to your hip. Straighten your torso. Send your back hip back and your chest forward. Gotta get long. Good. Keep getting long. Keep getting long. And then on your next exhale, wrap your left ribs under toward your right knee. Turn your gaze up. Once you're twisted, then let the arm float up. Every time you exhale, see if you can use your abdominal muscles to move the ribs and twist at the waist. Good. Bring the arm back down and send the hand to 10 o'clock. So the hand is roughly in line with the back foot. Kick off that back foot and lift the leg. Try to get it parallel to the ground. Keep breathing and then roll those left ribs under. Turn your gaze to the right and take the arm up. Activate both legs. Welcome to Thursday. Let's bring the hand down. Let's just bring the foot down alongside the other foot. And take a few restful breaths here, bending the knees, letting the ribs rest on the thighs, and taking opposite elbows with your hands. Letting the weight of the spine be heavy, the breath be soft and full. And then just sway from side to side, opening the sides again. Just swing like a pendulum, but less controlled. Good. Come back to center. Release your hands. Tuck your chin. Keep your knees soft. Roll yourself up. Reach all the way up. And exhale the hands together at the heart. Closing the eyes if that's comfortable for you. Lift the toes and spread them wide and lower back down. Center your mind in the sensation of breathing. Using your mind to support your breath and your breath to stabilize your mind. Let your weight sink into your left foot. Let your eyes open softly and find a spot in front of you. And keep the eyes still, gazing on that one spot. Keep the mind still, internally gazing on your breath. Release the hands. So there's this simultaneity of movement and stillness. Steadiness in the foot, steadiness in the breath, steadiness in the mind, even as we move. So see if you can hold both. We're going to start to lift the right foot. We're going to bring the left hand to the ankle. The right hand is going to come underneath and wrap around the bottom of the foot. So right hand crosses over the bottom of the foot. The left hand is over the ankle. Now see if you can roll your shoulders back. Keep your head tall. Good. Now we're going to inhale and lift the foot up. Exhale, back down. Inhale up. Exhale down. On the inhale, try to lift even taller through the crown of the head. Two more. Gently release. Close the eyes. Feel the feet. Feel the breath. Shift weight into the right foot. Feel the strength of the leg sinking into the ground. Spine lifting tall. Staying connected to the breath and the stillness. Open the eyes. Just layering the movement on top of the stillness. Lifting the left foot. Taking the right hand to the ankle. The left hand goes underneath to wrap around the bottom of the foot. And then straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back. Steady your breath. And again, inhale, pulling up. Exhale, release. Lifting tall through the head as you lift the foot. With control, gently release. Close the eyes. Inhale, pull the shoulders up. Inhale, pull them up more. Inhale, pull them all the way up. Exhale out of the mouth and drop them. 2 more like that. That feels good. Let's do 2 more still. Last one. Close the eyes and feel the energy in your body. Good. And inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Flat back, straight legs. Inhale, hands to knees or shins, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands up, eyes up, look up. Exhale, fold. One more time. See if you can lift the creases at the tops of your thighs, pulling the leg muscles up and hugging them to the bones, pushing down into the feet. Curl the sit bones up. Lift the lower belly in and up. Lay your body over your legs. Breathe as though you're sucking the breath up from the earth, through the bottoms of your feet, up the backs of your legs, into your sit bones, and then exhaling, cascading the breath off your spine, off your head, off your arms, back into the earth. Good. Bend the knees, lowering the sit bones. I'm going to give you 2 options here. One is to work on crane pose. Hands go inside, arms go inside the legs, fingers spread wide. Walking the hands forward and then lifting the heels, lifting the sit bones, bending the elbows, bringing the whole body forward, and then lifting the feet, balancing just on the hands. You can do that Most of you are probably already in it, but if you hear the next pose and you prefer it, do that. We're going to do a headstand. Sorry, there's not enough time for both, but maybe some other time. So if you're in headstand, the hands are shoulder width apart. You come onto the top of your head. It's a very similar principle, lining the elbow up over the wrist to get the strength in the arm bone. And then you'll curl the toes under. Lift your knees and walk your feet forward until the knees can rest on the backs of the elbows, and then the feet just float off the ground. If you want to try coming fully into the headstand, then I'm not going to do it because my neck doesn't like it, but you're really using your abdominal strength to press the legs straight. So you're not swinging the legs up like you would in a handstand. You're using control, and with your abs, you're pulling the legs up. When you fall, you fail, it's not really a failure. It's called practice. So you get up and you try again. And you get up and you try again, and you watch what's happening in the mind. The practice is just as much a mental one as it is a physical one, if not more. So if you can keep the steadiness of the mind, paying attention, feeling the breath, feeling what's working, feeling what's easing, and maintain that regardless of whether you're in the pose, out of the pose, you're still in the yoga. Good, I'll just give you a couple more seconds here. And then let's come out and sit on the feet. And then we're going to tuck the hands under. So bending at the wrist, looking at your palms, lean back and try to lay your outer hands onto the ground. So the palms are up. You can let your chin drop forward, that might feel nice. And then lift up, shake the hands out. That's it. Then come off the feet onto your buttocks, bending the knees, feet on the ground, and then we'll lower slowly to the floor. Again, arms can come forward, arms can come on the chest, arms can come up. Once you make it down, though, bring one arm on either side of the hips, palms facing down. Feet are hip width apart. Line the ankles up under the knees. So you're not bringing the feet all the way to the buttock and you're not having them forward. Just right under the knees. Good. Breathe from belly to ribs to chest. And then when you exhale, lift your hips, roll your shoulders under you, clasp your hands if you can, and then pull the hands apart, sending the upper arms deep into the ground. Send the feet deep into the ground and push forward through the feet to lift the buttocks even more, aiming the tailbone for the backs of the knees, and then push into the shoulders even more, lifting the back ribs even more. Keep the knees hip width apart, don't let them splay out or collapse in. Good. Then if you're wanting to challenge yourself more, you can come into a wheel. I don't think I can do it anymore since I had my shoulder surgery. But Basically, the elbows bend and face up and the palms come down onto the ground. And then you lift your hips, push into your hands, and lift yourself up. Okay. If you're in the wheel, lower down. If you're in the bridge, the first variation, lower down. And we'll lift the feet, bring the hands onto the thighs. And push the thighs into the hands and the hands into the thighs and press the low back into the ground. Reach the arms past your legs. Lift your head, tuck your chin. Then slowly lower down. Lift your tailbone, tuck it under. Release your legs. Shake them out. And if you're using an eye pillow, you can place that on your eyes. Then we'll let the arms rest out away from the body with the palms up. Legs away from each other. Closing the eyes if you can. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth, collapsing the weight of the body into the ground. Inhale deep. Exhale out of the mouth, releasing the jaw so that there's space between the upper teeth and bottom teeth and a little space between the lips. One more deep breath in. Exhale out of the mouth, releasing the activity of the mind, letting it go. And then also letting go of the breath. The breath doesn't need to be slow or deep. The breath doesn't need to be anything. Just allow the breath to happen completely on its own. Just notice the feeling of the breath. Where you feel it, how it is. Maybe it has a rhythm, maybe it doesn't. Doesn't matter. Just be curious about the breath. Can you sustain your attention on the breath from the beginning of the inhale to the end of the exhale without the mind wandering? Can you hold your awareness in the feel of the breath? Or if the mind does wander, no problem. Can you bring your awareness back to the breath without judgment? Just picking up where you left off. Deeply relaxed. Letting go. Letting go. Letting go. Breathe into your heart, move fingers and toes. Reach the arms overhead, take a deep breath, stretch long. Hug the knees to the chest and rock side to side, feeling the ground, massaging your back. Bring the soles of the feet together, the palms together, rub hand to hand and foot to foot. Release the feet down, keep rubbing the hands, get them nice and hot. And then place the hands wherever you need a little extra care today. Breathe into the center of your heart. And imagine as you're breathing out that you're sending it to your hands and sending love to that part of your body. Your hands are touching. Release the hands, roll over to your side, resting your head on your underside arm. Resting your body on the ground. Resting your awareness in the feel of your whole body alive. Slowly bring yourself back up to sitting, any way that you're comfortable. Sit bones sinking down, head lifting tall. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Inhale the heart up to the hands. Exhale, shoulders relax down. Inhale deeply, breathing in from bottom to top. Take it all in. Let it all go. Drop the chin to the chest. Namaste.